The running back position. It may seem weak this year, but there's a lot of stars that could be in the making for the 2025 SEC season. Hello, everyone. I'm Lucas Hill here with you once again for another rankings for the Voice of College Football here on the SEC channel. Make sure you do us a favor, hit the like, share, and subscribe button down below. Make sure you turn on that bell notification so that you are notified every time we go live, post a new short, or post a new video here on SEC Live, the Voice of College Football. Follow me on X at Lucas_Hill23. Also, make sure that you follow the Voice of College Football at THEVOCFB. Thank you to our good friends over at Amazon. And for more information on that, here is Mark.
You can make a difference here at the Voice of College Football. Use the Amazon link. Financially contribute to the Voice of College Football without spending a penny. Same shopping experience. It's easy. Go to any video on any channel. Go to the description section and grab the link right next to the capital letters that say Amazon. Use that link and Amazon will instantaneously convert to your account, settings, history, everything intact, just like whatever link you use right now. No difference. Pay no attention to the product that you see right there. Just go search what you want. Don't forget the Amazon link. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, the Voice of College Football.
So our top 10 running backs have been released. Let's talk a little bit about them. Our honorable mentions, I have 3 of them. I will also throw in some more on here because I missed out on a lot of running backs. Isaiah Gustave I have as an honorable mention. We'll see what the Roswell Faison situation looks like. Our good friend Brad Crawford of 247 Sports says that we are projected to see some more insight and some more updates as to whether or not he will become eligible or not. So we could be coming down to a decision very soon. Another honorable mention, I have Devon Booth from Mississippi State. Everybody knows about what type of talent that he can have, but how many carries will he get at the end of the day for this program, for Mississippi State at this point, with Fluff Bothwell coming in? We just have to wait and see and find out. Dante Dowdell is a pretty interesting prospect to me. Transferred in from Nebraska, 143 carries, 614 yards, 12 scores, however. And some of the games that he did play in, you didn't see a whole lot of impressive stats when it came to running the football. He didn't have a 100-yard game last year, but the biggest thing that I saw was just his consistency in the red zone. The guy is a red zone guy. I think he's going to continue to contribute at a high rate and give Zach Calzada a break every now and then. I think he was very efficient last year for Nebraska. 12 scores is not an easy route. I think he can be a little bit of what Dylan Sampson was last year and be your red zone back, get you yards, set yourself up in second and third down situations, and he'll continue to work from there. Number 10, C.J. Baxter. Coming off of injury from last year, Baxter showcased why he could be one of the top backs in the country this year. Last year, showed out in a couple of games, had a 100-yard game a couple years ago against Iowa State. Has showcased why he can be a feature back in a couple of games. And was an honorable mention all Big 12 at running back, but missed all of last year with an injury suffered during fall camp, which sucks. He was a preseason Doak Walker Award watch list. I actually had him projected to win the Doak Walker last year. But I think a guy like Baxter is going to split carries with our number 1 back at the end of the day. They're all going to perform. It's going to be between the two of them. Jaden Blue is gone. We'll see what happens with that running back room at the end of the day. But again, I think Texas has a very deep room. And even Baxter, who was the number 1 back coming out of the class of 23, even though he missed majority of that year with injury, Baxter's going to be a guy that is going to be reliable on first and second downs. Number 9, I have Jam Miller, a guy I think that also went under the radar last couple years for this Alabama roster. But when you look at what he brings to the table, 666 yards rushing, also averaged 9 yards a catch on the receiving game. I need to see him get more touches throughout the football game. I want to see games like he had against LSU where he wasn't effective running, but when you got him out into the open space and whenever he was effectively getting out and open in a receiving position, he was really good. Even the Michigan game, had 3 receptions for 36, set this Alabama offense up in pretty decent situations. That's what I want to see from this back. I think he's going to continue to elevate his game. I think Jam Miller has a lot to look forward to as a running back. I think he's going to be utilized kind of what Alvin Kamara is, and I think that's what your typical back should be. We've seen him go for over 100 yards, and we've seen him go for stretches of games where he's looked dominant. Take the USF game, for example, where he broke off a couple big runs. The game against Wisconsin where he had a dominant touchdown run. You know, I think that he can be a complete back at the end of the day. Get him on wheel routes coming out of the backfield against Georgia where he was effective. Guys, it's going to be a very, very good running back for Alabama. One that Ty Simpson is going to need to check down to at the end of the day. 8, I have Ahmad Hardy, a guy that I have carrying the load for the first half of the season while Bo Pribula gets his feet wet in this Eli Drinkwitz or in this Kirby Moore offense. Hardy's the feature back, man. No question in my mind of how dominant this kid can be. Hardy, in my opinion, can be the number 1 back at the end of the season, but he's not right now. We'll see what type of athlete he can be. We'll see what type of spark he'll bring to this Missouri offense behind a kind of depleted Missouri offensive line. We'll see what type of difference that he can make. Number 7, I have Nate Frazier. I thought he had an excellent freshman year last year, taking over for Trevor Etienne throughout the majority of the season. Showed a lot of promise. We saw the Clemson game where he had a pretty good game. And I said it from there. Nate Frazier was going to be your guy at the end of the day. They'll be just fine without Trevor Etienne. And boy, were they. It was a fantastic showing for a guy like Nate Frazier to come out of the backfield and to come out of that running back room as your feature guy. Frazier's going to be that one that I think a lot of fans, especially around the Georgia area, are going to take note. He's not going to be a Todd Gurley or a Nick Chubb or a Sony Michel, but he's going to be a back that can get you yards and can do good things for you out the backfield. 6, I have Amari Daniels. Amari Daniels took over the majority of the carries once Le'Veon Moss went down. Can break off a big run. Can really do some damage in that area. He's a 4-year guy. He's been with Texas A&M his entire career. This is it for him. We've seen him break out in big games. We saw him against LSU. We saw him against South Carolina break off big runs. But the last half of the season against Auburn and against Texas, whenever he was hurt, guys, he just wasn't comfortable. I want to see Amari Daniels be a tough as nails guy, shifty guy. But I also want to see him get north and south and be consistent whenever it comes to getting yourself out the backfield and know how to effectively run the football behind your offensive line, which is going to be better this year. And I think at the end of the day, one of the things that I think was an Achilles heel for Texas A&M was your offensive line play at the start of the season. That's why you weren't able to do a whole lot against teams like Notre Dame or even Bowling Green, even Florida at some points in the season. 5, I have Jaden Ott. Jaden Ott would be higher if he wasn't hurt last year, but I think Ott has the most potential out of every back on this list. We've seen Ott at his healthiest. We saw what he did 2 years ago at Cal, running for over 1,000 yards. In my opinion, he could have been the first back taken last year. If not, for sure a top 3 back last year. Got hurt, destroyed his draft stock, but decided to return to college football. Now he's in an offense with Ben Arbuckle and John Mateer, which can effectively run the option game. Imagine what he can do with that offense. The variety of different things that they're going to do with Jaden Ott at the end of the day. Ott is going to showcase why he can be a top-tier running back at the end of the day. And he's going to put on display what type of athlete that he can become in this Oklahoma offense and how consistent of a running back he can be. A running back room that was almost non-existent last year. A running back room that hasn't really had a feature guy that, in my opinion, hasn't come out of Oklahoma since the mid-2010s. So this is your opportunity to find a guy. And I think it starts with Jaden Ott. Number 4, I have Le'Veon Moss. I'm glad the charges got dropped because you needed to get a guy like Le'Veon Moss. Obviously, it sucked about what happened last 2 years with losing Amari Daniels and Le'Veon Moss last year. Le'Veon Moss is a really good running back. We have seen him in games where he can dominate. Look at Florida. Look at Arkansas. Look at Missouri, where he ran for 138, 11 and a half yards a carry and 3 scores. What does that tell you? Look at what he did against LSU. Ran for 2 scores. Had 10 touchdowns and averaged 6 yards a carry. In my opinion, Moss is going to be back better than he has been the last couple of years as a Aggie. Got out on a $300 bond. But Moss, whenever he gets back to College Station and back in an Aggie uniform, may end up as the feature back in this Texas A&M offense. And you better watch out. If Colin Klein doesn't effectively use the option game with Marcel Reed and Le'Veon Moss, and if they try to make, and look, the number one thing that, in my opinion, that Texas A&M needs to do is let Le'Veon Moss take the majority of the pressure off of Marcel Reed. That's where the option game comes into play. And that's what you're going to have to do in 25. 3, I have Caden Durham. Thought last year showcased extreme potential. This year, he's going to break out even more, though. I expect him to be a 1,000-yard rusher. I expect him to also take the burden off of Garrett Nussmeier whenever he gets into trouble. Then that's where you're going to have a more balanced attack. Durham is that guy, and I think he's going to showcase that in 25. Number 2, I have Jaden Ball. Jaden Ball is no doubt the best athlete of any running back that's on this list. That's healthy, too. Jaden Ball and DJ Lagway can be one of the best option threats in all the SEC. I'm already high on what Marcel Reed and what this Aggie running back room can look like. I say the same thing about Arch Manning in this Texas running back room. I'll even say the same thing about John Mateer and Jaden Ott. What about what Florida has to offer? It's definitely one that you need to look out for at the end of the day. Jaden Ball is a really good running back. And he can slip out the backfield and make a couple dudes miss in the receiving game. Send him on a wheel route one-on-one against a linebacker, and it's a done deal. Trey Wisner, though, comes in at my number 1 back. Trey Wisner came in last year. Let me tell you what this story is about Trey Wisner. Trey Wisner was a 3rd-string back going into 2024 and ran for over 1,000 yards last year. What does that tell you? It shows you the amount of confidence that Sark has in a guy like Wisner. one that can break out for you at any given time, can dominate a game at any given time. He's behind one of the best offensive lines in the nation, one that is going to make headlines this year. Wisner is in for another 1,000-yard season if his carries doesn't get depleted at the end of the season. But I do think that Wisner is going to be your feature back out of Baxter and Jaden. I think Jaden Blue's in the league, but regardless of that, I do think that what you have, never mind, Jaden Blue's not with the Longhorns anymore. What you have between Wisner and Baxter, two of the best backs in college football. Wisner, in my opinion, is going to overtake that crown. Wisner is going to be one of the first 5 backs taken off the board in 2026, and there you'll see why this upcoming year. Really quick back. Is a complete package. Doesn't go down after initial contact, and he just has a quick burst to him once he gets to the second level that it doesn't matter who it is. Nobody is going to bring him down. They just won't. And this just goes to show you how dominant of a back he can be at the end of the day. That's my list. What are you guys' thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Once again, guys, you are the best. Thank you for tuning in once again on another great video here on SEC Live at the Voice of College Football, giving you the best around the SEC and more. Once again, I'm your host, Lucas Hill. Follow me on X at Lucas_Hill23. Follow the Voice of College Football at THEVOCFB. Thank you guys for watching us. Make sure you leave a like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so that you are notified every time we post a new video. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you all on the next one.